In today's video, we are going to look at potentially the next scam by Wargaming, the assembly shop, as well as how to get the Object 780. Well, the assembly shop is a new and exciting thing from June the 6th until July the 11th, where you can get one exclusive tank called the Object 780. You might have already seen it running around in the games. That is due to the super testers having tested that. And no, we CCs did not got the opportunity to try it out firsthand. We have to buy it also tomorrow with a June of 16th, so we can make a video to you. That's because in the update which is following tomorrow, it's a short mini update, a micro patch, where they're going to introduce the new UI layout and slightly buff apparently the Object 780. Apparently it gets 150 more hit points, but nothing other changed. But that's just what we know at the moment. Now, when the update drops tomorrow, at around 7 o'clock apparently, you will see this thing right here. And click on it, and then you will be greeted by this view. In this view, you are able to say, yo, I want to be one of the 15,000 first people to get an exclusive 3D style for my 780. This exclusive 3D style is a little bit like, imagine it like a picture which is limited in sale. This is basically what the 780 is. The 780 is limited to 50,000 tanks. 50,000. Those 50,000 tanks, they are the unique ones, or the really special ones. There are only 15,000 from them. Imagine them to be like hand-signed pictures. And those hand-signed pictures also have a number on it. And they go in chronological order. Meaning, tomorrow morning, when you're one of the first people to complete this quest or this assembling of the 780, you will get a 3D style with apparently an NFT-like unique number on the barrel and apparently on the back of the tank. You cannot choose this number. There are also some numbers which are prohibited, most likely, like the 420, 69, 88, for reasons, 666, for reasons, etc. However, it is in chronological order, meaning you cannot really decide. You can just really have, you can basically just have bragging rights when you have a low number. It's the same with car numbers, at least here in Switzerland. Bragging rights. So what do you need to do? You basically need to fulfill this progression bar right here, 47% in this case. You can do that with several different things, and we can see those different things right about here. You can use free XP, gold, credits, bonds, national fragments, and universal fragments. And each of those give you a different type of percentage. It's also important to notice that universal fragments and national fragments only give you up to 36%. That's it. So technically, if you have a boatload of credits, you can basically just buy or pay 100 million credits. Boom, you get the tank for free. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. You just invest 100 million credits, boom, you get it. Just how it is. That's kind of wicked, if you really enjoy that. Obviously, you can now start to think about, well, at least for people like me, I have every single tank in a game, meaning I have a boatload of universal fragments. Meaning, obviously, I want to invest as many of the universal fragments I can. In that case, 224, which gives me 14%. That already lowers the price for pure credits to 86 million. That's decent. And then obviously you can also use your national fragments, and you can get there, you need around 550. And then you get a maximum of 46%, meaning you would only need to pay 64 million credits to get the tank, if you want to do it purely by credits. Be aware though, and that's very, very important. Usually those fragments are disproportionate. You can get more national fragments through the battle pass if you haven't redeemed them already, but obviously don't forget there is an Italian tech tree coming, so you might want to keep your Italian ones. As you can see, which I did, which I'm probably going to lose, most of them. Because the thing is, yes, I have 3,700 universal fragments, but you can't really exchange them for national fragments, I just learned, which is kind of annoying. In any case, again, you can get national fragments more through the battle pass. So keep that in mind. If you have the improved battle pass and you haven't redeemed it yet, you can do it right now before the update drops tomorrow morning. However, let's say you do that. Now's the question, what should you do else? In my case, it was probably going to be the most efficient to say, screw it, I'm not going to really use credits because credits take quite a long time and free XP just accumulates randomly. I can just invest 512,000 free XP to get the remaining stuff, especially with the national fragments. I might even completely skip on some of the national fragments, at least the Italian ones, and just youuuu deletus everything else, because I don't really need them, do I now? I can also maybe invest some bonds, which I highly think is not that good of an idea, because bonds is a currency which takes quite a long time to farm and get a decent chunk of. Plus, if you, even for the most ambitious people which have a boatload of bonds, it still is quite a lot. You would need to invest 25,000, which is quite a lot if you imagine. 25,000 is akin to 5, a little bit more. A little bit less than 5, no, excuse me, a little bit more than 5 equipment. That's quite a lot. And you'll need to grind quite a lot for that. So now's the question. You might invest some credits, which I probably will. I have 22 million, almost 23, so I'm probably going to invest, I don't know, maybe 6 or something. Who knows, maybe 6, so I don't need to use that many national blueprint fragments. Now's the question. You don't want to use your bonds. You can't really buy them. You don't really want to use... Now you want to use gold or free XP, but what is most efficient? That is very, 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 very cheeky by wargaming. It is always better to use free experience rather than gold. Because let's do a little bit of an experiment. We go over here and put in 8,000, because 8,000 equals 1%. So in theory, it should also equal 550 gold, right? If wargaming is fair. That's why I think it's a little bit scammy at the moment. It's 320. Sadly not 420, but it's 320. Yeah, boys and girls. Let's not think about wargaming's decision to make it that way and not properly announce it. To say, brothers and sisters of this amazing game, that you should always prioritize free XP over gold. In any case, if you would not know this life hack, you would need to pay 35,200 gold if you also use the universal and national fragments. If you would use 520,000 free XP instead, 525,000 free XP, we need 20,000 gold, not 35,000 gold. 20,000 gold. So if you want this tank desperately, please, 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 please convert first your free XP to this type of your gold to free XP and then use it if you want to have it day one. There is apparently also going to be a timer which says you how many is left, not like last time around with the kilowatts where they're literally just gone all the time. You can see there will be a number, vehicles with numbers remaining, and there will also be probably here as well, most likely. So you should have quite some time to gather some free XP. Again, don't forget, in a clan, there are clan boosters you can use for free XP, which, oh wonder, our clan is doing right now. You can use personal boosters at the moment to grind this out. Again, you almost have a month time to grind out if not everybody's going to youuuu deletus all their things into that tank. Because there are 50,000 tanks, and at the moment we have, I think, around a peak of around 100,000 usually on the EU server. I don't know how it is for the NA server, so I'm sorry for that one. NA is dead. But yeah. In any case, you should prioritize free XP and obviously universal fragments. You get them like sand on the river, on the sea. And same goes with national fragments. You get them actually quite easily through the battle pass. And it's basically you like for people which have everything, because that is what it is. It's basically a way to get people which have everything back into the game and eat some of their resources, most of their resources. And it's most likely what I'm going to do as well. I'm probably going to youuuu deletus around 500,000 free XP and hope that before the update drops for the Italian tank destroyer line that we get some more free XP. But we'll never know, and I might change my opinion on that one. Who knows? Who knows? In any case, now's the question, is it even worth it? Is the 780 even worth it? I can't tell you that for sure. Why exactly? Because obviously we didn't have the time to play this tank. So you're most likely going to see a lot of videos tomorrow morning of stressed out CCs, sleep deprived CCs most likely, which played 1 or 2 games and giving you a full review. Quickie baby. Yeah. Or you will more probably just see somebody like me or Skillful YouTuber just driving 3 games of it and try to give a first impression. I don't know. I don't know yet what I'm doing. I'm most likely going to stream it in German though. In any case, the 780 has a 130mm gun, having 530 alpha, which is actually pretty pork. In this time, we're going to compare it to the Object 260, and you will notice it has actually really decent standard penetration, 267. However, its gold penetration does kind of suck. It is 311 on APCR compared to the Object 260's 340 on heat. We might also be able to compare it to the i7, might be a little bit fairer, because they basically both have the same role in the game. But yeah, as you can see against the i7, it does have a slightly better DPM. It means it has a lot better aim time, like that's what Wargaming also said. It has great accuracy, etc. La-di-da. It has good accuracy. That's not that good gun handling. It's slightly worse than the i7. It's also slightly worse than the 260. But other than that, it is alrighty. Top speed is kind of miffy with only 45 kph, but it has decent HP per turn ratio. It has decent soft stats, which are important. It turns relatively quickly. It has 7 degrees of gun depression, which is quite a luxury for Russian tanks. However, don't forget that thing is quite tall. It's like a leggy boy. It's a tall thing. It's there so you can look down on the peasants. And showcase how much time you waste into this game and how much money we wasted into this game. So now we can basically look at the armor model. Obviously, when we are looking straight on, gun to gun, at 0 degrees, it has pretty good armor. As you can see, lower plate is quite hard to hit. You have a cupola, which you can hit. But the problem is, most of your enemies will most likely see you like this on the flat surface. Because, again, you are a leggy boy. You are a tall boy. And then the Object 260 is 780 is going to have the issue that it has a 30mm belly. It sadly enough isn't like me. It doesn't have a fat belly, a chubby belly, a belly which is able to absorb rounds. No, it is very, very lean. Something which I would like to have. 30mm thick means that basically every single tier 10 gun in the game can overmatch it. Yeah, there is no gun which is only 90mm on tier 10, if I recall correctly. And I think there is none so far. And yeah, obviously you still have the cupola. When we go into the gun depression mode and try to go hull down, you can see that we still have chances to penetrate over here because there is a 30mm plate below the tank. Like it's this plate down here. Can't really showcase it, sadly enough, for some reason. But yeah. If we load APCR rounds, you can see that we have a little bit easier time to penetrate over here, but it's still rather tough, and in hold down it doesn't really change much. If you compare it to the Object 260, we only get the benefit of having APCR standard rounds, which might suck. As you can see with the lower plate, makes it a lot harder to penetrate at straight. But if you use heat rounds, it's a lot easier to penetrate. Obviously, you have huge penetration chance at the cheeks. Not at the gun mantlet, obviously, but the cheeks are not that thick. Plus, they are for quite some time actually very, very flat. Side scraping might also be a little bit hard because of this super angle plate. So you need to keep that in mind. Against standard rounds, it's actually not that hard. You also need to keep in mind because of that plate over there. But with heat rounds, you can see it gets a lot easier. One good thing about the 780 is you can't really detrack it with damage, at least in the front. In the rear you can if you hit the upper spot. Again, I don't know what to say because let's be honest, let's break it down again. This thing, in theory, costs your national fragments and 20,000 roughly gold, right? That's what we just looked up, 515,000. Excuse me. 515,000. 20,000 gold. 20,000 gold should be, or let's run it up to 21,000 gold. Should be around 80 Swiss francs. 76, okay, excuse me. That's around 74 euros, or 70 euros roughly. Or you completely whale it. If you completely whale it, you don't have these, you don't want to use these, you just want to yeetus deletus whale it, you either need 55,000 gold. 55,000, yes, you heard that right. That's almost 190 euros. Or you whale it with the free XP way, which is the way you should always go, and you need 32,000, and 32,000 is just shy above, what is it? 100 euros, I think. 100 euros package, 113 Swiss francs in that regard. Yeah. I don't know, like, I can't tell you if it's worth it or not. I'm obviously will get it because, I have the resources, I am a CC, I want to showcase the tank to you. But it's not going to be a meta changer for Clan Wars, definitely not. Why should you pick this over the Chieftain? The Chieftain is faster, has better armor, has a better gun. Why should you pick this over the 277? The 277 has better armor, has a better, well, not really better gun, but has a lot better penetration with heat especially, and it's faster. Your turret is actually fairly weak in Object 780. And then it is like the Object 268. It is basically just there to showcase that you have a big winner in the game, that you just have a lot of resources left you want to use or abuse. That's it. Nothing else matters. Bam. Yeah. In any case, there's nothing more I can say to you about this tank, except I find it very, 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 very awkward that Wargaming decided to go this way. I'm not that happy, to be honest, but then again, it is a way to make this tank more unique, and obviously it is trying to catch on to the NFT hype that we are unique, that you will get a unique number, you can't really change, you get a unique 3D style, which is back here, this thing right here. I don't know. It's a wild thing. It's generally a wild thing how Wargaming is trying to market this thing. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe again. I'm sorry that I'm so lacking in content and that I did this video so late, basically 7 hours before the update drops. I will have a nice sleep. Yeah. I have a lot of things to do. I'm generally feeling close to a burnout at the moment. But that's beside the point. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you around. Goodbye.